Hello, everybody. It's Monday, 2nd of May. Hope you had a wonderful first day of May. And it's absolutely beautiful outside. If you get the opportunity to get outside today, please do. The weather is really, really nice. This morning, we're going to work a bit on our wrists and forearms. And before we get into the myofascial massage, I just want to talk about the positioning of our hands on the floor. Now, imagining that this arm is the floor, when you place your hand down, the wrist should be aligned, and mine isn't where you can't see it. It should be aligned with the hand, okay? So when you place your hand down, there shouldn't be any twisting or turning of the hand. And a way to notice that is when you place your hand down, often there are wrinkles in the skin that happen here. All right, and just check that the wrinkles are even. If you have your hand misplaced, you're going to see, oh, there are more wrinkles here. Or if it's placed like this, there are going to be more wrinkles here. Okay, so when we are on all fours and when we are in the down dog or crouching cat or even in plank, I really want you to look at the wrist and see that the wrinkles are somewhat even across. Okay, that's just the wrinkles of the skin. The second thing to notice is when you place your hand down, if there's more or less pressure on the thumb region or on the outer region. Okay, and that you'll notice because when I put pressure there, you see how my hand becomes whiter just at the edge. Or if I put more pressure here, you'll see that it becomes whiter as well. These are pressure points you want to pay attention to. It should be even. You shouldn't have more whiteness on one side than the other, nor on the knuckles. Last thing to notice is that if you're spreading your fingers too wide, it creates big tension. And you can see these are all my tendons sticking out, okay? You don't want to have the fingers too wide. You just want to have them gently placed with separated, but not spread wide as if there's a web going on with your skin. You want to just have it a soft, gentle placement of the hand on the floor, okay? But I'll remind you of that when we're on all fours and in our down dog and crouching cat. You can come to a seated position on the floor right now, or standing, or even in a chair. And let's begin by breathing in and lifting the chin. These are head nods to get the neck and the nervous system connected. Breathing out, lower your chin. And again, let's breathe in and lift, stretching through the throat and the neck. Breathing out, and we stretch the back of the neck. And again, we'll breathe in, lift the chin, lengthen. Breathing out. One more time, let's breathe in, lift and lengthen. Breathing out, bringing your chin down to your chest. Now come back to a neutral position with the head and neck. And we'll breathe in, turn your head to the right. Breathe out, come back to center. So these are very simple. Breathe in, to the left, and breathe out, back to center. We want to go slowly. So you really get into the muscles. This is stimulating the nervous system and the system of balance, which is behind your ears. Breathing in, breathing out, come back to center, and we do it one more time. And this will affect how you're able to move and how you're able to balance throughout class. Good, come back to center. Let's roll the shoulders, lift and move the shoulders back. So we bring the shoulders forward, up and back. Good, nice big circling movements. This feels so good, especially if you have any tension in the trapezius muscles. Okay, let your shoulders rest, and you feel like your shoulders should be floating. We don't want to press them down and back. We want to feel like the shoulders kind of float on top of the rib cage, okay? Bring your hands to your ribs, and here I want you to bring it just underneath the bra line. For any men joining us, it's going to be just below your pectoral muscles. Okay, so it's a nice wide part of the ribs. Lift the chest and see if you can get these ribs to move as you breathe in. So get them to expand as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, they come back towards each other. So if these were my ribs, when I expand, they're going to bring air into the lungs and into the deepest part of the lungs. And as they come back together, they push the air back out of the lungs. Do this about 3 more times. And you can physically see my fingers are moving, my hands are moving. And yours should move as well. If they don't, this is something you need to work on every day. You really want to get those lower ribs and the diaphragm moving. Good. Now we're going to turn the hands around. I want you to bring your fingers to the back and your thumbs will be at the front curling around. Now, most of us, we have an easier time getting these front ribs to expand, but the lower ribs, it's more difficult. So let's do that. Breathing in, get those lower ribs expanding, breathing out. It may feel like you're bending forward a bit, get them expanding. Avoid that, keep the chest up and see if you can get that expansion, keeping the chest lifted, keeping your posture normal. This is getting the back area of the diaphragm, which for many people doesn't have much movement, but we need movement there. This can also help getting movement there. Can help if you have any low back pain, because sometimes low back pain is just because the diaphragm is blocked back there and the back sort of takes over. So we get overuse of the low back muscles and it creates back pain. Do that one more time. Good job. Now bring your hands just underneath your chin, clasping your hands together. And we'll take a deep breath in, lifting the chin, lift the elbows high, and feel like you're expanding all of the ribs in the chest. And then you breathe out, bring your elbows back down and come back to neutral. Excellent. And again, breathing in, lift, open and expand. See if you can expand the back as well. And breathe out, bring the elbows back down. Good. Do that a few more times. Breathing in, expanding. That's beautiful. Good, ladies. Breathing out, back down. Good. 2 more times. Breathing in, expanding. Yes. Breathing out, bring the elbows back down. Once more. Breathe in and expand. And back out and bring it back down. That was excellent. All right. Now, we're relaxing. You're going to continue a nice deep breath and take your right hand, grabbing the forearm with your left hand, squeeze all the way up until the wrist. If you have a watch, maybe you want to take it off. I'm going to take off my watch quickly while we do this. Squeeze all the way up and then all the way back down. Now the muscles we're squeezing on the outside of the arm are called the extensors. Okay, they're the forearm extensor muscles, and there are quite a few in there. Good. And they affect the hand when we lift our hand up, when we lift our fingers up. Okay. Now you're going to turn your arm and have the forearm facing skyward. Again, with your left hand, this time we're going to squeeze in the flexor muscles. So you're working the inside of the arm. Just squeeze up and down with your fingers. That's it. It should feel pretty good. Nice, easy, up and down. And now you can bend your elbow, and I want you to simply make a nice circle with your hand and see if you can extend the fingers, make them move along with the circle. That's it. This is simply mobilization of the wrist. We've massaged all those muscles that traverse the wrist and go into the hand. And then what I like to do is just to test it out, stretch your arms out in front of you and make a couple fists and open your fingers and lift. And notice how much more mobility you have in the arm that you just massaged. For me, this one is the one I just massaged is fluid, easy. My fingers move more easily and my wrist moves more easily. Let's do the other one now. So elbow bent, the other hand, and let's squeeze up and down the extensor muscles to start. So those are the muscles that are on the outside of the arm. Good. Up and down, and you just squeeze around. You may want to move around those muscles as you squeeze up and down. It's a big conglomeration of muscles. And we use those when we type on our computers. We use those muscles and probably overuse them, right? Because we're much more creatures that want to grab things. So the flexor muscles, we've got much thicker muscles, and that's on the inside. Let's do those now. So you bring your arm out, and you'll get your fingers in there. Go up and down, just pushing in. It's a very easy, simple myofascial release, and it's also getting the fascia connecting around the muscles, as well as getting the muscles themselves. Good. And then you simply bend the elbow. I like to have my elbow in my opposite hand, and I'm going to make nice big circles with the hands and wrist, and that's mobilizing. 27 bones in each hand. 27, that's enormous. So when you move the fingers around, you're mobilizing all of those bones. They all connect with another bone, at least one other one. So all that connective tissue gets lubricated with these movements. Okay, then stretch your arms out and test. Move your hands and just see if, oh yeah, now they feel, both of them feel like they're moving much more. Beautiful. Okay, let's come up onto our hands and knees, please. Hands can be underneath the shoulders and knees can be underneath the hips. Check now the positioning of your hands, okay? Just check that there isn't more pressure. You know, first check the pressure and the whiteness of the hands, right? If there's more whiteness on one side or on the thumb. And then check the wrinkles that you make. They should be somewhat even, all right? The wrinkles should be somewhat even. Now, if you were to do it falsely, go ahead and press more into your thumbs, and you're going to notice, there are more wrinkles closer to the thumbs. And then if you press into the outside of the hand, you're going to see that the wrinkles aren't even anymore. And you can also see the whiteness, right? Now, last thing, spread your fingers really, really wide, and notice what that does. It creates large tension in the forearms and in the wrists if you spread your fingers too wide. Just relax them, having them separated, and you're going to have your hands soft on the floor, soft. Taking a deep breath in, let's curl the spine and look skyward, and then we'll breathe out and look to the belly button. Let's go. We breathe in and curve, cat and cow. Breathing out and rounding. And again, breathing in, let's curve. Breathing out, let's round. One more time, breathing in, curving. Breathing out and rounding. Coming back to a flat back. Let's open our knees. Sink back onto your heels into child's pose. Now, if it's comfortable for you, turn your palms to the sky, setting the backs of the hands down, and the forehead can come down. If this is not comfortable, you can keep your palms down and relax the elbows onto the floor. Take a few deep breaths here, just letting the hips, the low back, the knees sort of sink into this posture. Coming back up onto the hands and knees. This time, be sure your hands stay farther in front of your shoulders. And again, notice if you've got even pressure on your hands, that there isn't more pressure towards the thumbs or more towards the pinky fingers. Everything is even, all right? Let's bring the knees in, and we're gonna bounce back and forth. And as you do this, watch your hands and your wrists. Look how the forearms function along with your wrists. and along with your hands. Just doing this bouncing movement, you're getting some mobility, some more mobility into your wrists. It's a very interesting movement. And then lift your right knee, place the right foot down, reach forward with your right hand, fingertips down on the floor. So it takes all the pressure off the hand and wrist, and bounce back and forth again. And we're getting more into the rotation of the right leg, getting prepped for a standing position. Bring the hand back down, stretch your right leg out to the side, toes pointing forward. And again, we bounce back and forth. Easy movement. And then bring the knee back down underneath the hip. Bounce again, back and forth. Notice the effect it has on your wrists. Then the left knee comes up, left foot onto the floor. Left hand far out in front, fingertips down, takes all the pressure off the wrist, and bounce back and forth. Getting into that rotation in the hip. Deep breaths. All right, bring the hand back down, stretch your left leg out to the side, toes pointing forward, and again, bounce back and forth. All right, bring the knee back down. And let's tuck the toes under, rising to a crouching cat position. And we'll bounce back and forth again. Check your wrists. Here we have much more pressure on the hands because we have much more weight on the hands. Really check to make sure that those wrinkles are a bit even and there's not more pressure towards the pinky or towards the thumb. The fingers are soft, the hands are soft on the floor. One more bounce. And then open your feet as wide as your mat. Walk your hands back. Now we're going to do gorilla fists with the hands. Make 2 fists and place the fists on the floor like you're punching the floor. Arms straight and bounce up and down with your hips. So the hips go down and up. The knees stay behind the toes when they bend, okay? Avoid going forward with the knees. You want to have most of the weight in your heels. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set your hands onto your thighs, lifting up through the chest, arms straight. Bring your right shoulder forward, look over your left shoulder behind you. Coming back to center. Left shoulder forward, look over your right shoulder behind you. Back to center, again, right shoulder forward. Back to center, left shoulder. Back to center, one more time each side, right shoulder. Back to center, and here's the last one, left. Back to center. Now lift up through the chest. Keep your hips moving back. Keep the chest lifting away from the hips. Raise your arms in front of you, and here we do little squats. 10, 9, arms go up as your hips go down. 8, sparking the energy in the back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up to standing. Step your feet in. And this should feel really energizing. All of these movements in the beginning help to energize the body and to get it ready. Step forward and separate your feet at hip width, everyone. Stretch your arms by your sides, completely straight. Lift and open the chest. When you stretch your arms straight, you should feel behind the upper arm a contraction. That is the triceps. Those are the triceps keeping your arms straight. Lift your eyes so that they're at the horizon and bring your hands to your heart center. Knees are soft. Chest is lifted. Take a deep breath in. Breathe everything out. And now we're going to raise the heart rate. Let's go. Deep breath in, rise up. Bring your elbows towards your knees and then bring your hands to the floor, stepping back to a plank position. Hold your plank here, looking forward. Raise the head so that you have the back of the neck engaged. 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees. Lower your chest down to the floor. Point your toes and lengthen your legs out behind you. Squeezing the shoulder blades, rise up to a little cobra. Bring your chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees. Let's take a quick stretch of the side body. Right hand off the mat, left hand on top. Press the hips back. Coming back up, left hand off the mat, right hand on top. Press the hips back. Back to center, tucking the toes, rise to down dog or crouching cat. Now raise your right leg up behind you. Bring it out to your right as if you want to touch your right shoulder. Then back up behind you and swing the leg forward. You don't have to get to the front edge of the mat. Step the rest of the way forward. Bend your knees low, come to a chair position, raising the arms up. Bounce here, 3, 2, and 1. All the way up to standing, arms stretched straight by your sides. Same thing, nice and slow. Take your time. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in, let's rise. Elbows come to knees, and then the hands to the floor. Step back to a plank position. Lift the head, engage the back body. Holding 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. Move yourself down. Pointing your toes, lengthen your legs. Rise to a little cobra. Bring the chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees. Again, side body stretch. Left hand off the mat, right hand on top. Press your hips back. Then right hand off the mat, left hand on top. Press the hips back. Back onto the mat. Down dog or crouching cat. Left leg presses up to the sky. Bring it around like you want to touch the left shoulder. Back up to the sky. Swing it forward. Stepping the rest of the way forward. Knees bend low, coming up into chair. Arms by your ears. Bounce it here. 3, 2, 1. Arms by your sides. Good. Perfect posture. Hands to heart center. A little bit faster. Let's go. Pick it up. Deep breath in. Folding forward. Step back to the plank and we still hold here. 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. Move down to the floor. Pointing your toes, lengthen out, rise to a little cobra. Now we'll push back. Down dog or crouching cat. We take out the side stretch. Raise the right foot, press up. Bring it to the shoulder. Back up behind you. Swing it forward and step forward. Into the chair. Bounce it here. 3, 2, 1. Up to standing, perfect posture. Hands to heart center. Go again. Deep breath in. Folding forward. Stepping back to the plank. Hold here. 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. Move it down. Point your toes to cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Left leg comes up. To the shoulder. Back up behind. Swing it forward. Coming into the chair. Bounce it here. 3, 2, 1. Up to standing, arms straight. And again, hands to heart center. 2 more rounds. Deep breath in. Keep it going, ladies. Fold it forward. Beautiful. Step it back to plank and hold. Hold your head in a good position. 3, beautiful. 2, 1. Bring your knees down, moving down. Good. Point your toes into cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Yes. Right leg goes up behind you. Good. To the shoulder. Yes. Good. Back up behind you. Excellent. Then swing it forward, moving forward. Perfect. Arms by your ears into chair. Holding 3, 2, 1, all the way up to standing. Good. Hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in, rise. Folding forward. Keep it going, everyone. Excellent. Stepping back to plank. Hold it there. Lift your head. Be sure you're engaging the back of the neck. 3, 2, 1. Move it all the way down. Pointing your toes, getting into cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. That's great, everybody. Right leg goes up, out to the shoulder, back up, swing it forward. Yes. All the way up and into chair. I may have made a mistake there. It might have been the left leg that should have been up, but you come up into chair and you hold. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Hands to heart center. Excellent. We are going to add on to this. Stick with me. Bring your hands to heart center and get into a chair. Whew. You're going to spin to your right. So your left elbow goes over the right thigh. Turn it, turn your chest. Take a deep breath in here. And then breathe out. Bring your hands down. Step back to a plank position. Step your right foot out to the side. Then your left foot out to the side. Then the right foot in, then the left foot in. Bring your knees down, move all the way down. Point your toes into cobra. Bring it back into down dog or crouching cat. Now from here, I want you to work the legs and the hips. Bring your right foot out to your right. If you want to touch the floor, you may. If you want to work harder, keep it off the floor. Then cross it under your body to the left-hand side of your mat. Again, you could touch or you keep the foot lifted. We do it 3 times. Right, and then cross over, left. Again, out to the right, out to the left. One more time, to the right, to the left. Good. Bring the leg up behind you and swing it forward. Stepping forward, getting into chair. Bounce it here. 3, 2, stay in chair. 1, hands to heart center. Twist to your left. We do the other side now. Good. Holding 3, 2, 1. Hands come down. Step back to plank position. Left foot out. Step it out. Right foot out. Left foot in. Right foot in. Knees come down. Move down. Into cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Left leg goes out to your left. You can touch the floor if you wish. Cross it under your body, bring it out to the right. Out to the left. To the right. 2 more times. Last one. Bring the leg up behind you. Swing it forward. Getting back into chair. Woo! Bounce it here. 3, 2, 1. Stay. Hands to heart center. Twist to your right. 2 more rounds, ladies. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Hands to the floor. Step it back to plank position. Step your right foot out. Left foot out. Yes. Right foot in. Left foot in. Doing great. Move your knees down. Move down to the floor. Point your toes. Rise up to cobra. Everyone's looking great. Down dog or crouching cat. Perfect. Now stretch your right leg out to the side. Touch the floor or stretched out. Cross it under your body. Up to the side. Under your body. One more time. Out to the side. Under your body. Perfect. Bring it up behind you. Push up to the sky and swing it forward. Let's go. Stepping forward and into chair. Bounce it here. 3. Yes. 2, stick with it. 1, hands to heart center. Last round, twist to your left. Right elbow over the left thigh. Hold. 3, yes, good. 2, 1, look to the floor. Bring your hands down, stepping back to a plank. Step your left foot out, then the right foot out, then the left foot in, right foot in. Good, move your knees down and get all the way to the floor. Point your toes into cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Excellent. The left foot goes out to the left-hand side and then crosses under your body to the right-hand side. Out to the left again. Back out to the right. Yes, one more time. Out to the left. You can touch the floor if you want to. And back up behind you. Push the heel up to the sky. Swing it forward. Get into your chair. Arms to the ceiling, and we bounce our chair last time. 3, looking good. 2, and 1. All the way up to standing. Well done, everybody. Take a little step back to the center of your mat. Hands come to your hips. Now we get into the active position, which has the knees slightly bent. The hips move backwards when you do this. Be sure when you bend your knees, you don't have your hips moving forward. This is a very counterproductive posture for your hips as well as your back. So when your knees bend, your hips should automatically feel like they're going backwards. You don't have to go very low. It's just a little active position. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Okay? Have both knees feeling like they're lifting up. This brings your hips back when you lift your knees. Raise your arms out in front of you. Clasp all the fingers except index and thumb. You can stay here, setting your gaze on a point on a wall. Or you could begin twisting to your right. So you're twisting towards the leg that is bent on top of the other. Twist to your right. Go as far as possible. This works the core muscles. And we hold. 3, 2, 1. Unwind the twists and uncross the legs, arms by your sides. Perfect posture. Good. Hands to hips again. Bend your knees, hips move back. This is the active position. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Feel like the knees are lifting up, moving up and forward. Hips move back that way. Arms stretched out in front of you. Clasp all the fingers. So you could stay here without the twist or add the twist, going towards your left. Feel the core muscles working to get you there. Turn your shoulders, turn your head. Let's go, holding 3, 2. Beautiful, 1, unwind. Undo your legs, perfect. Back to the perfect posture. Hands once again to your hips. I'm going to turn around so I can show it with my right leg. Lift your right foot and step it back behind you, turning the right foot out to the side. So this is called a tribal lunge. The feet are at a 90-degree angle to each other. Bend your knees and let your hips go back. Set your left elbow onto your left thigh. And we're going to do a dynamic movement. I want you to raise the right arm, twisting open, and then come back and see if you can touch your left ankle. We'll do this 5 times. Breathing in, opening. Breathing out, touch the left ankle. Breathing in, opening. Breathing out. If you want to add on to this, when you come back down, breathe in, rise up, and when you come back down, see if you can touch the floor. You have to get into a deeper squat. 2 more times. Breathe in, touch the floor with your fingertips. Once more, breathing in and touching the floor. Now, bring both hands down. Straighten your left leg as much as possible. Your right knee stays bent. You're going to get into a deep stretch down the back of the leg and rebend the knee. So I want you to breathe out, stretch it straight. This is dynamic stretching. Breathing in and bend. Go slowly. Breathing out. If you need to, hand is on the front ankle instead of on the floor. Breathing in 2 more times. Breathing out. Breathing in once more. Breathe out, stretch it straight. And breathe in, rebend. Send your hands farther out in front of you, fingertips on the floor. This helps to release the wrists. And raise your right leg behind you.
Bend the knee and press the foot up to the sky 10 times. 10, 9. Standing knee is soft and bent. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring the right foot down on the top of the foot. Bring the knee down, and the knee comes down just next to the left heel. Okay? Everybody got that? They're kneeling down on the floor. If your knees are fine, you can sink back and forward, moving your hands along with you. If your knees are not good, keep your hands in front, and you can just swing back and forth. Depends on how you're feeling in this position. You should feel that thigh working. We'll do 3 more. Swing back and forward. 2 more. Back and forward. Once more. And this time, fingertips come forward. Push off both feet, raising the right leg as high as possible. And then bring the foot down to the floor. Knees bend, hands to thighs. Come up into a little chair. And then all the way up to standing, legs straight, arms stretched by your sides. Perfect posture. Beautiful. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So, knees bend, hands to hips. Step your left foot back this time. Feet are perpendicular, making a right angle. Sink down into that tribal squat. Right elbow to the right thigh. Okay, bring your left hand down and we'll do those dynamic opening. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, see if you can touch the ankle of the right foot. Breathing in, rise up. Good, breathing out, bring it down. 3 more. You can touch the floor by squatting more deeply down as you bring the hand down. 2 more. Hips go back as you squat. Here's the last one. Beautiful. Very good, ladies. Whew. Bring both hands down now. Get into a deep squat. Breathe in, breathe out. Straighten that front leg. It should be your right leg. Breathe in, bend the knees. Breathe out and straighten. You could have the hands on the ankle too. Breathing in, bend. Breathing out, straighten. 2 more. Breathing in. Breathing out, the back knee is bent, always bent. Last one. Yes. Now send the hands far beyond you. Lift up the left leg. We should have switched legs. Left leg is up now. Press up. 10, 9. It's like you're pushing the ceiling. 8, 7, 6. Fingertips on the floor, wrists relaxed. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch the leg behind you. Bring the top of the foot down, and the knee comes down next to the right heel. Fingertips stay on the floor. You can sink back if you want to, all the way to the heel, and push back up again and off 5 times. Or you can simply rock back and forth. It depends on how you're feeling in your knees. 3 more. 3, 2, here's the last one. Hands beyond you, push up. From pushing up from both feet, raise the right leg as high as possible, point the toe, and bring the leg back down. Feet are separated, knees bent, hands to thighs, lift up into a little chair, and all the way up to standing perfect posture. Good job, everybody. Hands to hips. Begin with your right leg. Bend it and bring it out to the side. You're going into a tree pose, either at the ankle, a little bit higher than the kneecap, or the inner thigh. Raise your arms in a V position. Lift the chest. Good. Set your gaze at one point and calm your mind.
Hands to hips. Bring the foot back down. Beautiful. Left leg bending out to the side. Ankle a little bit higher than the kneecap or the inner thigh. Arms rise up. Lift the chest. Deep breaths. Well done, ladies. Hands to your hips. Lower the foot down. Step back to the front edge of your mat. Well done. Hands to heart center. Let's take a deep breath in and rise up. Fold it forward. Elbows come to knees and then the hands come to the floor, stepping back to a plank position. Now from here, you could lower your right knee and raise your left arm. Or if you're feeling strong, keep both legs straight and raise your left arm coming onto a side plank, full side plank. Holding here, keep the hips up. 5, keep breathing. 4, flatten out your belly. 3, check that the hand is in an even position. 2, 1, bring your left hand down, bring your knees down, sink back, and if you can, turn your palms to the sky. Bring your head down, child's pose. Relax here for a moment. Looking forward, bring your palms back down, come up onto the knees, stretch your legs again. If you'd like, left knee comes to the floor, right arm up to the sky. Or you keep both legs straight and you just twist on your feet and raise the right arm. Hold it here, keep the hips lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hand down, knees come down, open them up, coming into child's pose, palms to the sky. Lift your head looking forward, hands come down. Come up onto your hands and knees and walk the knees back. Move yourself down to the floor and hands underneath the forehead. Okay, move your hips a bit from side to side. Perfect, ladies. Stretch your arms alongside your body. Fingers, the thumbs point down and the pinky fingers point up. See if you can straighten your hands along with your wrists and forearms. Lift the head, chest, and shoulders, and lift the legs. Engaging here, lengthen out the neck. Keep breathing. 5, 4, stay with it. 3, even if you feel, oh, it's very difficult to hold much longer, just one more second, taking you one more second farther, and come on back down. Hands under the forehead, move your hips from side to side. Good job. Bending the knees now, flex your feet, reach behind you and touch the heels. Push the heels into the hands. If you don't touch, it's not a big deal. Just reach for them. Push the heels into the hands, lift the chest, and we hold. Keep breathing once again. See if you can just hold it 1 second longer than you usually would. Squeezing the shoulder blades. Head is lifted. Give yourself that challenge. Just one more second. And come on back down. Hands under the shoulders, up onto the hands and knees. Whew. Bring your knees forward. Either you can open your knees, cross your ankles and roll over, or you can bring your feet to one side. Let's lie down onto our backs. We're going to be doing just the yogic bridge. Elbows pressing into the floor, squeeze your shoulder blades, and lift your hips up.
Now we're going to hold this position for a little bit longer. So make sure you've made the proper adjustments so that the feet are hip width. Everything is aligned. You don't feel any pain or pulling in the knees. And you shouldn't feel any pain in the back either. Now, as we breathe in, remember that spot we breathed in into the ribs, the lower ribs. That's the spot where you want to expand. And as you breathe out, pull the belly in. If possible, pull your perineum upwards towards the belly. You breathe in to the ribs. Breathe out, the belly goes in, perineum moves up. Keep going. 3 more times. Belly in, perineum up. 2 more. This is good for all of us, men and women alike. Trying to get the perineum to lift up and the organs to lift. It's working against gravity. 1 more time. Raise your arms over your head and lower the back. 1 vertebra at a time. Very, very slowly. Once the back is all the way on the floor, bring your soles of your feet together, knees wide. And just hold it here for a moment, just to relax and let go. Lifting the knees back up. Stretch your right leg to the sky and grab behind the thigh. Make a big circle with the foot, releasing any tension in the ankle of the foot. Change the direction of the circle. Now flex your foot, opening up the toes. See if you can keep curving your low back and stretch your left leg onto the floor. Holding here, keeping curved. Look for that stretch down the back of the leg. And see if you can align up the hip with the knee, the ankle, and the toes. Releasing this, cross the right ankle over the left thigh and pull both knees towards you. Bring the left knee to the floor. Allow your knees to fall to your left. Bring your right arm out to the side. Turn your head to the right. Spinal twist. Roll all the way onto your left-hand side. Grab a hold of the right ankle and push the right knee behind you. So stretch of the quadriceps. And this stretch, super important for those of you who are working seated or even standing for most of your day, because the quads get overworked. Good. And we become what's called quad dominant. We need to be able to release those muscles. Bring your right knee towards your right shoulder and roll onto your back. Both knees bend, and we do the other side to even everything out. Raise your left leg. Big circle with the foot. Change the direction of the circle. Flexing your foot, keeping curve in the low back. Pull the leg towards you. And see if you can stretch your right leg onto the floor. And we hold. Look for that stretch down the back of the leg. Once you've got it, just stay with it. Good. This also teaches us how to stay with just a minor amount of discomfort, which happens all the time during our days. We don't realize it, but we constantly have minor moments of discomfort.
And whether or not you give in and say, I want to look for comfort again, and you avoid difficult tasks, or you avoid doing the right thing or making the right choices, or you stay with it. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. So this is staying with our minor discomforts. You get into that stretch, you feel the discomfort, and rather than going into comfort and relaxing, you stay with it and you breathe. Keeping the legs crossed, bring your right foot onto the floor. Let your knees fall to your right. Stretch your left arm out to the side for a spinal twist. Good. Turn all the way onto your right-hand side. Grab the left ankle, push the knee behind you, hip forward. Bring the left knee to the left shoulder and roll back onto your back. Bring the knees into the chest and rock a bit from side to side. And then maybe you want to take child's pose, grabbing the inside of the feet from the inner ankles, pulling the knees wide. A few deep breaths here. Bring the knees back together. Stretch one leg at a time onto the floor. Let your toes roll out to the sides and place your hands onto your belly. Begin to take some deep breaths in and out. And as you breathe and relax here, think about what other things during your day might cause that mild discomfort. Do you avoid it? Or do you stick with it? Sometimes sticking with the mild discomfort makes the difference between eliminating a long-term stressor or creating a long-term stressor. Getting something done or working through the discomfort may help to avoid that long-term stress. For the next minute, simply allow your body to relax and let go. Begin taking deep breaths in and out. When you're ready, start to move your fingers and your toes. Raising your arms over your head, stretch from fingers to toes. Then bring your knees up to your chest. Maybe you want to rock a bit from side to side. Stretching your right arm to your right ear. Roll all the way to the right-hand side. Sending your hands down, lift yourself from the side. Push down into the earth to lift. Good. Come to a seated position. Let's rub our hands together. Bring your hands over your face, gently tapping around the eyes, shaking your hands out. We'll do that again. Shake your hands out. And just before we finish, I'd like to do 3 pressure points of the face. This really feels quite good. First pressure point is just at the inner corners of your eyes against the bridge of the nose. So just gently press inwards. Second pressure point is to either side of the nostrils. You want to gently press inwards, just gently. And third is just underneath the corners of your lips. You want to gently press inwards, keep your mouth closed. And relax, hands to your heart center. Have a wonderful afternoon, everyone. I hope you can enjoy the sun, and namaste. Thanks very much for joining. Good, lovely.